The Gathering Storm. The Galactic Assembly convened in the crystalline halls of Nexus Prime, a space station suspended between dimensions where reality itself bent to accommodate the gathering of 28 civilizations. Ambassador Krell of the Drakari Empire stood at the central podium, his scales catching the ethereal light that seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere. Esteemed members, Krell began, his voice resonating through translated frequencies, we gather today to address the matter of the humans. A ripple of amusement passed through the assembly. The Vorath delegation, beings of pure energy contained within mechanical suits, pulsed with derision. Their speaker, Prime Conductor Vexus, projected their thoughts directly into the minds of all present. The species that still burns fossilized matter for fuel wishes to join our ranks. How quaint. Earth's ambassador, Sarah Chen, stood her ground at the newcomer's platform. She wore the midnight blue uniform of the United Earth Forces, the golden wings on her collar catching the strange light. Her dark eyes held no fear, only determination as she faced beings who had conquered stars, while humanity was still figuring out fire. Honored assembly. Chen began, her voice steady. Humanity comes not with demands, but with warnings. We have detected anomalies in the fabric of subspace near Sector 779. Our scientists believe. Laughter erupted from multiple delegations. The Xinthian representative, a creature of living crystal, chimed with melodic mockery. Your scientists, using what? Radio telescopes and chemical rockets. Chen's jaw tightened. Our technology may seem primitive to you, but our observations are accurate. Something stirs in the void, something ancient and hungry. We offer our findings and ask only for cooperation in investigating. Enough, thundered Overlord Thax of the Corellian Dominion. His four arms slammed against his console. We waste time listening to primitives spreading fear. The humans seek relevance they have not earned. The Galactic Assembly voted unanimously to dismiss Earth's warnings. More than that, they decided to teach humanity a lesson about their place in the cosmic order. 3 standard cycles later, a fleet of 30 warships from various member species crossed into the outer reaches of human space. They expected token resistance, perhaps a few outdated vessels firing primitive weapons. What they found instead changed the galaxy forever. Admiral Zorak of the Combined Fleet stood on the bridge of his flagship, the inevitable Victory, as they approached the Kuiper Belt. Scan for human vessels, he ordered. Let us see what passes for a defense force among these upstarts. Admiral, his sensor officer reported, confusion evident in all 3 of his voices. We detect nothing. No ships, no stations, no defensive platforms. They flee before us. Zorak laughed. How? Wait, the officer interrupted, a breach of protocol that would normally warrant immediate discipline. Something massive just appeared on our screens. It wasn't there before. The view screen flickered, then stabilized to show what appeared to be a small moon emerging from the darkness. But as details resolved, horror replaced confusion. This was no celestial body. Geometric patterns covered its surface, pulsing with energy that made their sensors scream warnings. The object was artificial, impossibly large, and completely unknown to their databases. By the Ancient Ones, whispered Zorak. What is that? A communication channel opened, unbidden. The voice that spoke was human, but carried in weight that transcended species. This is Earth Defense Command. You were warned. You chose not to listen. Now you will understand why humanity guards the outer reaches. The massive construct began to unfold, revealing weapon arrays that defied conventional understanding. Energy readings spiked beyond anything the alien fleet had encountered before. Retreat, Zorak ordered, but it was too late. The human construct didn't fire traditional weapons. Instead, it generated a field that simply unmade things. 3 ships at the fleet's vanguard ceased to exist, not destroyed but erased from reality, as if they had never been. No explosions, no debris, just empty space where proud warships had been moments before. Panic spread through the fleet. Ships collided in their haste to escape. The human construct moved with impossible grace for something so massive, positioning itself between the fleet and Earth. "You came to teach us our place," the human voice continued. "Let this be your lesson instead. Humanity has watched the stars for longer than you know. We learned patience from our struggles, innovation from our limitations, and unity from our diversity. What you see before you is not our greatest weapon. It is merely our doorman." The construct generated another pulse. This time, it didn't erase ships but disabled them, leaving the fleet helpless and drifting. Back on Nexus Prime, emergency sessions convened as reports flooded in. The returning fleet, those who survived, spoke of technology that bordered on magic, of a human civilization far more advanced than anyone had suspected. "How?" demanded Prime Conductor Vexus. "Our intelligence showed them barely capable of interplanetary travel." Elder Sage Marin of the Ethereal Consortium floated forward, her form shifting between states of matter. "Perhaps that was what they wanted us to see. Consider, a species that evolved on a death world, surrounded by predators, beset by natural disasters, divided by differences yet somehow united in purpose. Did we truly believe such beings would reveal their true capabilities to those who looked down upon them?" The assembly fell silent as understanding dawned. Earth hadn't been seeking membership in their alliance. They had been offering protection from something far worse than petty galactic politics. Ambassador Chen appeared via hologram, standing beside a human in military dress, whose insignia marked him as Fleet Admiral Harrison. Behind them, technical displays showed the approaching anomaly they had warned about, now much closer and clearly hostile. "Honored assembly," Chen said, without a trace of satisfaction, "the threat we warned you about has accelerated its approach. Our defensive systems are prepared, but this enemy threatens all life in this galaxy. We offer you a choice. Stand with us against the coming darkness, or face it alone." Admiral Harrison stepped forward. "Our mothership, what you encountered, is called Prometheus. She is one of 12 Guardians built in secret over the past 2 centuries. Each Guardian hosts technology we developed by studying the echoes of ancient civilizations that came before, civilizations that fell to the enemy now approaching." The display shifted to show tactical projections. Vast shapes moved in the void between galaxies, beings of darkness and hunger that had devoured countless civilizations before. "We named them the Devourers," Harrison continued. "They consume not just matter and energy, but the very fabric of reality. Our ancestors found traces of their previous incursions and began preparing. Every war, every conflict, every technological advancement on Earth has been directed toward this moment." The assembly erupted in chaos. Accusations flew alongside demands for more information. Through it all, the humans waited patiently, a quality their species had mastered through millennia of hardship. When order was restored, Elder Sage Marin asked the question on everyone's mind. "Why didn't you simply tell us this from the beginning?" Chen smiled sadly. "Would you have believed us? You, who saw us as primitives playing with fire. Sometimes, demonstration is the only path to understanding. We tried diplomacy first. You chose to answer with force. Now you know what we are capable of, and perhaps you'll believe us when we say the real threat approaches." The first battle against the Devourers would test not just humanity's secret defenses, but the newfound, if reluctant, alliance between Earth and the Galactic Assembly. As the enemy's vanguard entered the galaxy, the true scope of human preparation would be revealed, along with the reason why a species that others dismissed as primitive had become the unlikely guardians of all life in the Milky Way. Prometheus stationed itself at the galaxy's edge, its presence no longer hidden but proud and defiant. Around it, 11 other Guardians emerged from their concealment, each unique in design but unified in purpose. Together, they formed a line of defense that would either save the galaxy or die trying. The stage was set. The real war was about to begin. The Silent Guardian. The void between galaxies erupted with otherworldly energies as the Devourers approached. Their vanguard consisted of entities that defied conventional understanding, beings of pure entropy that consumed reality itself. Against this darkness, humanity's guardians stood as beacons of defiance. Admiral Harrison stood aboard Prometheus, surrounded by holographic displays showing the positions of all 12 guardians. Each massive construct was named after mythological figures who brought knowledge or fire to humanity: Prometheus, Athena, Odin, Quetzalcoatl, Thoth, and others drawn from Earth's diverse cultures. "All Guardians report ready," announced Commander Lisa Park, Harrison's second-in-command. "The assembly fleet is maintaining distance." Harrison allowed himself a grim smile. "They'll come around once they see what we're truly facing." The first wave hit like a tsunami of darkness. The Devourers didn't attack with conventional weapons. They simply unmade space around them, creating tears in reality that threatened to consume everything. But humanity had prepared for this. Guardian Athena activated first, projecting the stabilization field that reinforced the fabric of space-time. The technology was based on principles discovered in ancient ruins on Mars, remnants of a civilization that had fought the Devourers millions of years ago and lost. "Energy patterns confirmed," reported Dr. Elena Vasquez, Chief Science Officer. "The Martian data was accurate. They're using quantum dissolution to break down matter at the subatomic level. Then let's show them what humanity learned from their last victims." Harrison ordered. "All Guardians, execute Protocol Prometheus." Each Guardian unleashed technologies that the galaxy had never seen. Odin deployed temporal anchors that locked sections of space-time, preventing the Devourers from unmaking reality. Quetzalcoatl generated artificial suns, miniature stars that burned with energies specifically tuned to disrupt the Devourers' quantum fields. On Nexus Prime, the assembly watched in stunned silence. The humans weren't just fighting. They were winning, using technologies that seemed to bend the laws of physics themselves. "This is impossible," Prime Conductor Vexus transmitted. "Their technological level is exactly what it needs to be," Elder Sage Mirren interrupted. "We judged them by their public face, never considering they might be hiding their true capabilities. Look at how their weapons are specifically designed to counter the Devourers. They've been preparing for this exact enemy." Ambassador Chen stood among them, no longer the supplicant seeking acceptance, but an equal offering alliance. "Our species learned deception as a survival tool. We showed the galaxy what it expected to see while preparing for what we knew was coming." The battle raged for hours. For every Devourer entity destroyed, 2 more emerged from the void. But humanity had anticipated this too. Guardian Thoth activated a device that mapped the quantum signatures of each enemy, predicting their emergence points before they appeared. "Admiral," Commander Park reported, "we're detecting a shift in their attack pattern. They're adapting." "As expected," Harrison nodded. "Initiate Phase 2. It's time to show them why we built 12 Guardians instead of 1. The Guardians began to link their systems, creating a network that amplified their individual capabilities exponentially. Energy barriers merged into a single shield that encompassed the entire battle zone. Weapon systems synchronized, firing in patterns that created interference waves in the quantum foam itself. The Devourers recoiled, their advance halted for the first time in eons. It was then that the assembly fleet finally joined the battle. Overlord Thax led the charge, his ships adapting their weapons based on the data freely shared by the human command. "Target the quantum fluctuations," Thax ordered. "Match the frequency patterns the humans are using." The combined fleet added their firepower to humanity's defense, and slowly the tide began to turn. But victory came at a cost. Guardian Vishnu took a direct hit from a concentrated Devourer assault, its shields failing as reality warped around it. "Vishnu is going critical," someone shouted on Prometheus's bridge. "Negative," came the calm voice of Captain Priya Patel from Vishnu's command center. "We're executing final protocol." "It's been an honor." Before Harrison could respond, Vishnu detonated its core in a controlled explosion that created a temporary black hole. The gravitational anomaly consumed dozens of devourer entities before collapsing, taking Vishnu with it. They sacrificed themselves, Zorak whispered from his repaired flagship, without hesitation. That's humanity, Chen replied from Nexus Prime. We evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day. Sacrifice for the greater good is written in our DNA. The battle continued, with humanity revealing more hidden capabilities. Embedded throughout human space were quantum beacons that, when activated, called forth reinforcements not from Earth, but from hidden colonies scattered across the galaxy. Massive ships emerged from quantum tunnels, each bearing the marks of different human cultures and colonies. The assembly realized that humanity hadn't just been preparing Earth's defenses, they had been seeding the galaxy with hidden outposts, each developing specialized technologies to fight the Devourers. The Mars colony specialized in defensive fields, Harrison explained over the command channel. Luna Base focused on energy weapons. The Jovian Confederation developed gravity manipulation. Europa Outpost mastered quantum computing. Each colony pursued different aspects of the same goal. From hidden asteroid bases came swarms of AI-controlled drones. From beneath the ice of Europa emerged submarines modified for space combat. From the clouds of Venus descended atmospheric processors converted into weapons platforms. The galaxy witnessed the true extent of human paranoia, preparation, and ingenuity. Every hardship, every challenge humanity had faced had been transformed into a weapon against the cosmic threat they knew was coming. You built an entire hidden civilization. Prime Conductor Vexus marveled. How did we never detect this? You saw what we wanted you to see, Chen replied. Every visible failure, every public setback, every apparent limitation was camouflage. We learned from Earth's predators that the most dangerous hunter is the one you never see coming. As the human reinforcements joined the battle, the Devourers began to retreat. But their withdrawal revealed something even more terrifying. This had only been a scouting force. The main fleet still lurked in the void between galaxies, vast beyond comprehension. Analysis complete, Dr. Vasquez reported grimly. The force we just fought represents approximately 1% of their total strength. The assembly representatives fell silent, the magnitude of the threat finally sinking in. Now you understand, Harrison said, his voice carrying across all channels. This is why we prepared in secret, why we developed technologies that seem impossible, why we sacrificed our own advancement in other areas to focus everything on this threat. The question now is, will you stand with us for what comes next? One by one, the member species of the Galactic Assembly pledged their support. The Corellian Dominion offered their industrial might. The Xinthian Collective shared their advanced material science. The Vorith contributed their energy manipulation expertise. For the first time in galactic history, all species united under a single banner, one designed by humans, but representing all life in the galaxy. The banner showed Earth's Guardian fleet arranged in a defensive formation, surrounded by symbols from every member species. As repairs began and preparations for the next battle commenced, Admiral Harrison received a private transmission from Earth's High Command. The message was simple: initiate Revelation Protocol. It was time to show the galaxy humanity's ultimate contingency plan, a secret that made even the Guardians pale in comparison. The war for survival was about to enter its final phase, and humanity would lead the charge into the unknown, the reckoning and beyond. Deep beneath Earth's surface, in bunkers that had been constructed over generations, humanity's greatest secret awaited activation. The Revelation Protocol represented the culmination of every scientific discipline, every cultural tradition, and every hard-learned lesson from human history. Admiral Harrison stood before the assembly via quantum hologram, his image broadcast across thousands of worlds. Behind him, displays showed the approaching Devourer fleet, a darkness so vast it blotted out entire star systems as it moved. Fellow sentients, Harrison began, What you've witnessed, our guardians, our hidden colonies, our advanced technologies, these were merely our first line of defense. Now we must deploy humanity's true weapon. The display shifted to show Earth itself, but not as the galaxy knew it. Beneath the planet's surface, massive structures became visible, a network of generators that spanned continents. For 300 years, Harrison continued, every human child has contributed to this project. Every scientist, every engineer, every artist and philosopher has added their knowledge to what we call the Nexus engine. Dr. Elena Vasquez took over the presentation. The Devourers consume reality itself. Traditional weapons, no matter how advanced, can only delay them. We needed something that could rewrite the fundamental rules of existence. The assembly listened in stunned silence as humanity revealed their ultimate creation, a device that could temporarily alter the laws of physics within a localized area of space-time. You built a reality weapon, Elder Sage Mirren whispered. This is beyond even theoretical science. Theoretical for those who had options, Chen replied. We knew we had one chance. So we combined every discipline, quantum physics, consciousness studies, even what you might call magic. The Nexus engine doesn't destroy the Devourers. It changes the rules of reality so that they cannot exist. The final battle began with the Devourer main fleet emerging from the void. Entities the size of star systems moved with impossible grace, their very presence causing reality to fray at the edges. Stars dimmed and died as they passed. Entire worlds were unmade with casual indifference. The combined fleet of the galaxy took position around Earth and its guardians. Every species contributed their unique capabilities to the defense. The Vorath generated energy shields. The Xinthians created crystalline barriers. The Corellians deployed massive war machines. But it wasn't enough. The Devourers adapted to every weapon, learned from every tactic. One by one, ships fell silent, consumed by the advancing darkness. Nexus engine charging at 60%, reported technicians on Earth. We need more time. Guardian Prometheus led a desperate charge directly into the heart of the Devourer fleet. The massive construct burned with energies that would have powered entire civilizations, its weapons creating temporary pockets of stable reality in the chaos. All Guardians, form on Prometheus, Harrison ordered. Buy Earth the time it needs. The battle became legend. Stories would be told for millennia of how 12 human constructs held back the darkness, of how ships from 100 worlds fought as one, of how species that had been enemies for eons died side by side defending life itself. Guardian after Guardian fell. Athena was consumed, saving a Vorath battle group. Odin detonated its core to close a reality breach. Quetzalcoatl rammed a planet-sized Devourer, both vanishing in a flash of exotic particles. Nexus engine at 90%, came the report from Earth. Critical threshold approaching. Only Prometheus remained, battered and burning, its systems failing but still fighting. Admiral Harrison stood on the bridge, wounded but unbowed. To all ships, all species, he broadcast, "It has been the greatest honor of my existence to fight beside you. What happens next will change everything we know about reality. Be ready." The Nexus engine reached full power. Across Earth, billions of humans joined their consciousness through neural links, adding their will to the machine's purpose. Artists imagined new realities. Scientists calculated probability fields. Children dreamed of worlds without darkness. Fire, Harrison ordered. A pulse of pure possibility erupted from Earth. It wasn't energy or matter, but something more fundamental, a wave that rewrote the basic rules of existence. Where it touched, the Devourers simply ceased to be, not destroyed but edited out of reality itself. The wave expanded, passing through the solar system, the galaxy, and beyond. For a brief moment, every sentient being glimpsed the true nature of existence, infinite possibilities, infinite realities, all connected by consciousness itself. When vision cleared, the Devourers were gone. Not defeated, not driven back, but erased from this reality as if they had never existed. In their place, space itself seemed cleaner, more vibrant, as if a fundamental wrongness had been corrected. But the victory came with revelations that changed everything. The Nexus engine had done more than eliminate the Devourers. It had revealed the true nature of reality itself, that consciousness shapes existence, that belief influences physics, that what sentient beings imagine can become real. Humanity had not just saved the galaxy, they had elevated it to a new level of existence. In the aftermath, as fleets returned home and civilizations rebuilt, the Galactic Assembly reconvened. But now, humans sat not as petitioners or even equals, but as guides to a new era. We showed you our weapons, Ambassador Chen addressed the assembly. Now let us show you our dreams. Earth became the center of a new galactic civilization, not through conquest, but through inspiration. Human creativity, once dismissed as primitive, became the most valued resource in the galaxy. Their ability to imagine possibilities, to dream of better futures, literally shaped reality itself. The Guardians were rebuilt, not as weapons but as exploration vessels, seeking out new realities and new forms of existence. The hidden human colonies emerged from secrecy, each sharing the unique perspectives they had developed in isolation. Species that had stagnated for millennia found new purpose. The Vorath learned to dream. The Corellians discovered art. The Xinthians explored emotion. 1,000 years later, historians would mark the Battle of the Devourers as the moment when the galaxy truly became united. Not through force or treaty, but through the shared experience of facing annihilation and discovering that the power to shape reality had been within them all along. Humanity's greatest contribution wasn't their technology or their sacrifice. It was their proof that imagination could literally change the universe. As new generations looked to the stars, they no longer saw empty space to be conquered or threats to be feared. They saw infinite possibilities waiting to be imagined into existence. And somewhere in the vast reaches of space, Guardian Prometheus continued its eternal vigil, now a monument to the moment when humanity taught the galaxy that the greatest power in the universe wasn't destruction, but creation. The humans had been right all along. They hadn't been the primitive species seeking acceptance. They had been the sleeping giants waiting for the right moment to awaken and show the universe what it could become. In the end, it wasn't humanity's mothership that burned the skies. It was their dreams that lit up the cosmos, transforming a galaxy of fear and limitation into a universe of infinite possibility. The last transmission from Admiral Harrison, preserved in the Galactic Archives, summed up humanity's journey. We were never the underdogs. We were the authors of reality, waiting for the rest of you to pick up your pens and help us write a better story. And so they did, together, forever changing the nature of existence itself.